I'm back. Another DNA related video. I'm just taking a little bit of a break today from the emotional stuff from the last few days. Just giving myself some time to process all of that information. So today instead, we're going to look at some of the other websites that you can do this on. So when I put the first video on Facebook, somebody very kindly commented that once you have your information, your DNA data, you can download that and then actually put it into all of these other websites as well, which is what we're going to have a look at today. So this is the MyHeritage website. So let me first show you how you get your DNA data, because this was actually way more complicated than it needed to be. So DNA tab, manage DNA kits. If you've got multiple people in your family and you've tested everyone, then you're going to have all of these kits. Most of you will only have one result that comes up here. You've got 3 dots here. Go here. Download kit. No. You'll get this. You'll get continue. It will then give you an email with a link. You press the link. It brings you back here. You put your password in, and then the download automatically starts. So while that doesn't seem that complicated, I couldn't even find where this bit was, and it was here. I thought that would have been in a more obvious place, but it is what it is. There you go. Now you know. So I've got that. I downloaded that. So let's have a look at some of the other ones. So Ancestry, which has a .com and a .co.uk. Now you can do all of this. So far, all I've paid for is the initial test on MyHeritage. I didn't subscribe to any of their additional information packs. And when I've signed up to all the rest of these, it's just a basic free account on all of those. Ancestry is the only one I've come across where you will get a free trial, but you still got to sign up to use it. So if you want to do this, you got to sign up and then you got to remember to cancel it. So I'm probably not doing that today, even though it's one of the big ones. Let's check out some of the totally free ones and see how far we get, and then I might come back to this. This one is GenomeLink.io. Again, all I've done is sign up for the free thing on this, and then you get presented with this page. So 23andMe, that's, from my understanding, that's the popular one in America. In fact, I first heard about that, I think, through one of Joe Rogan's podcasts. He was doing some sponsored advertising for them, which is cool. This one you can't import your data into. If you want anything from them, you have to take the test from them and pay for that through them. But you can export your data from that to other things. Now, given that I've already paid for the test and taken it, I don't actually want to do that. I'm kind of sad that I can't put my data that I've already got into their site. It's not a thing. You can't do that with them. So yeah, let's see what happens here. Select the file. Where did I put it? Is it going to give you this one? Wait, you can put in a text zip. Oh, okay. It just wants the whole zip. Processing. Oh, it's going to do it now? Oh, I thought it'd be like come back in 7 days or something. Okay. What strange date to start from? Well, let me type then. No? You want me to click from 18... You're joking. What are you doing? This is going to take some getting used to. I've got 2 screens on. I'm actually watching the screen that I'm not using. I'm watching the OBS screen. and my mouse is over that way. Why? Why you started from 1805? Cool. We know this and some of that. Okay. Okay. All of these things. How did you find out what it was Google? It wasn't Google Ads though, I searched it. I typed in something along the lines of which websites can you upload DNA? Solve crime? Is looking for people who could help solve a crime with their DNA data. Your data is only used to aid human identification. Have I committed any crimes? Am I going to get in trouble for anything I've previously done? I don't think so. Yes, I would like to join. Do not. Yeah? Let's solve crime. Yeah. Let's solve crime. Get better at exercise. Thanks. Thank you. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Stuff. Things. Numbers. Pictures. I actually wasn't expecting anything to come up. I don't know why. Obviously it's being processed like automatically, like with algorithms and stuff. I don't know. I thought it would be like check back in a week and we'll have processed your data or something, but obviously they're not. Nothing's going through a lab. It's just automated. Wow. Ooh, look at all the tabs. Look at the things. Can we do this by higher? Higher blood serum level. What does this mean? Vitamin A is a group of... a science lesson. Health of your eyes and skin. I think I'm good. Higher blood serum level of vitamin A. Can I click this? Can I do that? Ooh. What? Okay. Is there anything behind my head? No. You tend to have a higher level of vitamin A. Is this accurate? Well, I mean, you tell me. That's kind of what I'm here for. Are you telling me you're guessing? Awesome. Scientific reliability. Questionable. That's cool. Let's go. Let's just view everything. Can I knock these off now? No. Am I stuck with these filter options? What are these? Sensitivity to fat. In what way? In what way sensitive? That I have too much of it? You are likely to have... Oh, it tastes sensitivity. So that I like it. Scientific reliability. Even more questionable. That's amazing. Sensitivity to fat. Taste sensitivity to fat. Okay. Oh, we can just click through like this. Cool, let's do that. Huh, interesting. You tend to have an intermediate caffeine metabolic ratio in blood. Indicating slower caffeine. Well, this seems fairly reliable. At least that's better. Yeah, I'm super sensitive to caffeine. I can really only have one coffee a day without being a little bit twitchy. I certainly can't drink Red Bull or anything like that. I can't do Jaeger bombs. Hell no, nothing with energy drinks in. I will be climbing the walls. Absolutely. I'm super sensitive to caffeine. I have to be very careful. It's helpful though. If I want to have a really good night out, fuck taking anything else, substance-wise, I can literally just go and have a coffee. Not even joking. I will get myself dressed, I'll have a coffee, and then like boom, regardless of what time of night it is, I will be ready to go. So that's definitely a thing. Next. Carbohydrate intake. What does this mean? What's this? That I'm 60% likely to have an intermediate tendency to seek out carbohydrates. It's probably about right. Isn't that just suggesting it's kind of average? Okay. Protein intake. You have stronger tendency to seek out. Now that's true. That might be more of just a conscious choice though. I'm not sure that's well. Ooh. This is incredibly reliable. But I mean, this is literally showing me half and half. It says this is intermediate, half and half, which says you have a stronger tendency to seek out protein. The other 50% is you have a weaker tendency to seek out protein. So next. Frequency of eating fried dishes is average. You are 100% average. Your consumption frequency of fried dishes is average. Next. Bitter alcoholic beverage consumption. Third and a third and a third. 33% you are likely. And let's like, and what does this? What? I really like citrus things. I drink water with lemon on a daily basis, and I put lemon in just about everything I can get away with. In terms of cocktails, I will normally go for like, citrusy, bittery things, but I don't think this has anything to do with what this is trying to tell me. Your consumption of bitter alcoholic beverages is likely average. Thanks. Next. Affinity for red wine. I hate red wine. You tend to have an intermediate affinity for red wine, which again is 50-50. You have a higher affinity, average. Why do I have a feeling the scientific study for this was just people sat around drinking wine? Brilliant. Excellent. Next. Caffeine consumption. Caffeine consumption has vulnerability. You tend to consume an intermediate amount of caffeine. Yeah. Next. Smoking behavior. Interesting. 25% you might smoke heavily. You have an intermediate tendency to smoke heavily. That is interesting. So I smoked from about the age of 14 until about 3 years ago when I quit. It was pretty hard. I think that took me a dozen attempts to quit. But I just went cold turkey, just flat out stopped. New Year's Eve, actually. First couple of weeks were hard, and after that I wasn't bothered. I actually didn't think about it at all, even though my boyfriend at the time was still a pretty heavy smoker, and also didn't bother me. And for about 3 years it was an absolute non-issue. Until maybe a couple of months ago when... I say couple, this was like September. I don't know. Last year was heavy, really, for everyone. I think we're all still in it. I mean, there is a current global catastrophe occurring. Yeah, so I started smoking again a little bit. I wouldn't say it was heavy. It's like 3 a day. It's only roll-ups. It's not a thing. I'd say even at peak, smoking back in the day was only really like 5 or 6 a day. A night out might push me to 10, and then my lungs would feel like crap for 2 days, so I just wouldn't smoke. I wouldn't say heavy. I'd say like heavy is probably 40 a day. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I would be sick. I would be sick and ill. Even 20 a day for me sounds absolutely catastrophic. Really, on an average day, even back in the day, I'd smoke like 5 a day. And even by the end of that, I'd be feeling a bit like... So I don't think it's saying with a tendency to smoke heavily. I don't... Like, that's really broad. If it just said tendency to smoke, well, I could kind of understand that. It's certainly not heavy smoking. It's never been. Oh, they did a lot of studies on this. That is interesting. That is about the most interesting one so far. Other than the random vitamin A. That's cool. Maybe that's my superpower. Can I see in the dark? Immediate compulsion, just go and turn off all the lights. That's not going to help this situation. Is this accurate? I'm going to press no. But it is interesting. Next. Tea consumption. Except for drinking water, most beverages taste bitter or sweet. But also, this just says your tea consumption is likely average. I mean, it's probably average for a Brit. I drink about 5 cups of tea a day. And the last few are always decaf, because caffeine. Kind of interesting, but also a non-thing. Ooh. Oh my god. Okay. Anything about my head? Nope. Hearing ability. You have a stronger tendency for acute hearing ability. Reasonably reliable. Okay, I'll take it. Super good hearing. That is interesting. I mean, the problem with that is it's not really comparable, is it? Because I can't... if I've got good hearing, I'm not really going to know that it's good because I've got nothing to compare it to in knowing what it could be like to have bad hearing. Can I hear? Yes. Can I hear quite clearly? Yes. But I don't have anything to compare it to, so I've never known if it was particularly good. So I can't really tell you if this is accurate. I suppose I'd have to go for like a proper, like in-depth hearing test and find out. Ah, interesting. Next. Read. Fuck's sake. You have a weaker tendency for having acute reading and spelling ability. How? Ha 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 ha. You are wrong. You are incorrect, sir. Is this accurate? No. Yeah, I mean, I feel like surely that's more of an educational thing. Are you saying there's a tendency for people with similar DNA and genetics to mine to have had maybe a poorer education and therefore have weaker reading and spelling skills? I feel like that's probably closer to what that's pointing to rather than it being an actual genetic trait. You have an intermediate tendency for having high childhood intelligence. Why, thank you. Cool. You have a stronger tendency for having high childhood intelligence. Okay, again, but like, granted, some of that is genetic for sure. But again, you've got to look at a lot of environmental factors there. That comes down to the education you had access to and homeschooling as well, like how much help you had at home, how many extracurricular activities you were involved in. Can come down to siblings as well. If there's a lot of school stuff happening at home. There are a lot of factors in that. Next tab, physical traits. Let's just cover that one back up. Motion sickness, earlobe size. I know things about this. Truly, I do. Genetic weight, BMI, cellular. Thanks, fam. You are less likely to get motion sickness. You have a weak tendency. Yep, I do not get motion sickness at all. Not in driving, not being a passenger, not on roller coaster rides, not on ferries. Nope. I think I've had motion sickness mildly once in the backseat of a car, but I think, if memory serves, it had been a bit of a stressful day and I hadn't eaten anything that day, and I was already, there were other things involved in that, like I already was not feeling good. But yeah, no, correct. You got one. Next. Earlobe size. You have an intermediate tendency for smaller earlobe size. Well, I stretched mine as a teenager. I had stretches, and you can see like I've got tiny little. I can't wear earrings in these because they just go straight through. I can wear like other rings and dangly things in there, but I just tend to not to put in. So this is not. There's an excess of skin here, which can be removed. So this is not an accurate representation of my genetics because I've stretched these, which means these are bigger than what they would have been otherwise. I did have super small, tiny earlobes before I started stretching them. Stretching, I mean by like with jewelry, like ear stretching, when you put tunnels in or plugs and you can slowly taper them up and get them, like, you know, when you've seen people with like the massive thing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mine only got to, I think, like 14. So it was like, it's like this. They went about like this. And took them out, they went back down. They're like 4. I can probably squeeze a 4 mil in that if I try. Can you see through it? Can you see through it? Just about. Yeah, if that's causing you any problems, or if you no longer want your stretchers or your stretched ears, or you've got some damaged tissue in that area, you can have earlobe reconstruction where you remove that small section of damaged tissue and just stitch the earlobe back up, and you'll have nice, small, rounded earlobes as if nothing had ever happened. Just so you know, that is a thing you can do. Next. Genetic weight. You have a tendency for intermediate body weight. So I have an average thing of average. I have an average capacity of average weight. Ooh. They wanted to test this a lot. Yeah. Okay. Again, there's a lot of other factors involved in that for sure, but genetically, supposedly my tendency, yeah, probably. Next. BMI, your body mass index. You have a stronger tendency for lower BMI. That is interesting because mine is super low. Really low. What was it the last time I looked? It's fluctuated somewhere between 18 and 21, if I remember. I think right now I'm about like 19, 20. For someone who's a non-athlete, it is super low. That's like a low BMI you'd expect for someone who does like track running and stuff. And I certainly don't do any of that. So yeah, it is super low. It is super low. That's interesting. That is interesting. Ooh, okay. Okay, that is a thing. That is a thing. I'm going to give you a yes. Body fat percentage. You have a stronger tendency for lower body fat percentage. Oh, it's quite a high. It's like a quite... Okay. I mean, yeah, I suppose this goes hand in hand with the BMI, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. I agree. Personality. Oh, God. Oh, God. What's this? Openness. Okay. Ooh. Okay. You have an intermediate tendency to be agreeable. I am a pretty agreeable person. Yeah. I'd say that. I get on with just about anybody, really. It's not until someone gives me, grief, then, Yeah. Conscientiousness. Agree. You have a stronger tendency to be conscientious. Being fair to others and holding yourself morally responsible for your work. One of the big 5 forming bases of personality. And that's a pretty strong result. really strong result with like 0 scientific reliability. Awesome. Okay. But I agree. Next. Extroversion. You have an intermediate tendency to be extroverted. Well, I know I'm an introvert. I can definitely tell you that. But I am an extroverted introvert. I'm quite a complex person. I do tend to be enthusiastic, talkative, and don't mind being the centre of attention. All those things are wildly accurate. Oh dear. But I am quite an introverted person. But these things are also very true. Again, absolute garbage as a result. Sure. Neuroticism. You have a stronger tendency to be more neurotic. Oh God, there was never a truer thing said about me in my life. A neurotic person is prone to experiencing negative feelings like anxiety, depression, and emotional instability. Well, ooh. I'm uncomfortable with how accurate the science is for this. I mean, it's accurate. Next. Openness. You have a stronger tendency to be open-minded. Also, undeniably true. Undeniably true. I mean, yeah. Pretty open-minded about just about anything. About any experiences. Always willing to try new things. Always listening to what other people say and to... Yeah, not really have judgment about anything. I mean, my mum's Christian and my dad's Sikh. Super open-minded. I consider myself Buddhist, but not exclusively so. It's just the thing that I align myself to the most. Yeah, I feel like I read about a lot of stuff and just I'd say I'm pretty open-minded. There's absolutely no credibility for that at all. Sure. Next. You have a stronger tendency to be less reward dependent. But I like rewards. But yeah, I'm probably not dependent on it. Okay, I see what they're saying. Like, everyone likes rewards, but I'm probably not dependent on that. I don't do things for the reward. Yeah, that is entirely true. That is entirely true. I do like the rewards. Like, after I finish this video, I'm going to go and reward myself with some cheese. And it'll be Red Leicester. And I'm eating it straight out of the fridge. I'm just grabbing... Next. Avoidance of transgressors. Well, you are likely to avoid transgressors. Yes. I'm not a vengeful person. Not at all. You either avoid it or seek revenge. Yeah, I'm going to avoid all that. Interesting. Yeah, I'm quite avoidant. Definitely a non-confrontational person. It's not always a good thing though. Like, if your avoidance is quite extreme, it can lead to a tendency of not confronting issues that you might have. Like if you've got a problem with a person, if you're very non-confrontational, it means you have an increased likelihood of actually not talking about your problems. You might just avoid it, not bring it up, not mention it or anything else. Like you'll just glaze over it like nothing's even wrong. So that as much as that's a good thing, and that you don't seek revenge, or you're not going to you're not going to go out swinging at somebody, it can go to the other extreme where actually you don't talk enough about things that are happening. Like you don't confront those problems, as small as they might be, and those niggly things can build up over time and lead to other problems. So yeah, it ain't always a good thing. It ain't always a good thing. There has to be a happy medium in there for sure. For sure. Sports. Well, this is going to be... You tend to have poor performance in endurance performance sports. Do I feel the need to go out and run marathons and stuff? No. Although I've played Beat Saber for 4 hours at a time, and not joking, that's some endurance stuff right there. That's some Expert Plus mode for 4 hours. That's some... muscle fibers. Interesting, but entirely likely to be bollocks. Sure. Yeah, no, I don't... Yes, in the sense that it's something that I'm not interested in or have no sort of natural inclination towards. But I certainly can do it. I certainly can. Yeah, I can play. I think some of you might underestimate how intense Beat Saber actually is at higher levels. Would I consider it an endurance sport? Yeah, actually, probably. At the levels that I'm playing it, yeah, probably. So, no. You're gonna make me pay for this. Is this the thing that I have to... Okay, so, yeah, I think the rest of this is behind a paywall. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's going to tell you lots of stuff about lots of things. But again, the scientific credibility behind most of these things seems to be pretty weak. There were some things that seem to have good, strong scientific evidence to be associated with genetics. For example, the BMI and the body fat information that came up. So here... this for me is super accurate, really, really accurate, and yeah, there's some good studies in this. So yeah, some of this is valid. It's nice that this is a thing, that they are actually showing you this here. So then you can use that to think a bit about whether you want to take this with a pinch of salt or not. So that's I like that that's there. That's cool. Nice. What else have we got on here? I want to try and get through all of these websites. I might have to cut this down into some other videos. Definitely. Are we on 40 minutes? We're going to cut this down. What do I click on? Reports. Do a thing. So this was the... Okay, so at some point, I'm ruling this out for now. But certainly... okay. They're only going to pull this from 23andMe and Ancestry data. Okay. You need an entirely different type of test for this to... Okay. That might be something I do at some point. Is this all going to be the same? Yeah. So a lot of this comes from a slightly different type of lab test. They need a different type of information. Okay. I understand this. That's interesting. That's interesting. Right, let's crack on. I am actually going to cut this here because we've already gone way longer. So this video will actually now be called GenomeLink.io. And then we'll carry on and do the rest. I have no idea how long it's going to take for me to get through all this. It might be quite a long time looking at this. So, cool. This was interesting. Man, there's going to be loads of these. You probably noticed a slight upgrade in the production value of this. I am now green screening everything. It occurred to me I'd forgotten that I've got 2 walls worth of green screen here from all my Beat Saber videos. So all I've done is swung my desk around and I'm now with my back to the green screen. Ta-da! You now get my face massive on all of these videos. You're welcome. Cool. Back in a bit.